This is the YSK-FW1 oxygen concentrator unit. This takes available air and separates out oxygen to give the customer a concentrated stream of oxygen, intended for breathing. Here's a quick rundown on the device. On the front here is a removable access panel still under the manufacturer's included wrap. By pulling outwards on this, you reveal the water vessel. This is for adding humidity to the breathing oxygen, so that way you do not become dehydrated breathing the air. On this vessel, there are two lines. This is the minimum fill, which is the minimum amount of distilled water to add to provide humidity. And this is the maximum level. While exceeding the maximum level will not necessarily damage the unit, it will cause water droplets to be emitted out of this port and into the breathing hose, which may cause discomfort for the person that's needing to breathe that by having water sprayed at their face. And at that fill level, it is guaranteed to not spray water into the hose. Let's go to the rear of the machine. There are three parts back here. There is a 240 volt with a supplied Euro plug adapter. This is an ungrounded plug. This will not work on 120 volt AC. The compressor will stall, and with time the considerable electrical damage will be done as windings of the motor burn out. And so it is not to be operated at 120 volts at all. Before starting it up, you must release the Velcro tab, but not necessarily remove it. This frees the compressor internally so that the suspension is allowed to move freely. When this device is being transported, the Velcro must be retightened to compress the suspension downwards so that it does not vibrate excessively during transport. It must be loosened during usage such that the shock absorber will dampen any kind of noise from inside to the exterior of the unit. We have a reset breaker here, which will trip in the event of overcurrent. Simply pressing this is a way to reset it. And once it's activated here with a power source, and you are now ready to turn this switch here. We'll look at the operation of when this switch is turned on. When it is turned on, this device will speak to you in Chinese and will express to you at how excited it is to be turned on. Let's turn it on. Okay, she just told you how excited she is. We have these contact switches that have appeared that provide 5 functions. Speaker turns the voice on or off. The timer sets the timer. Power turns the unit on or off. Flow is the rate of airflow. Increasing the flow gives a lower concentration of oxygen. Be aware of that. This unit also has an ionizing function to ionize the air that you're breathing. It's toggled with a switch. Presently, the only switch that operates when you first turn it on is the power button. Let's turn it on. When you turn it on, you will hear the compressor start and it will begin its cycling. The rest of the display will light up too. Now at this point, air will be coming out of this port. Listen carefully to the noises this thing makes. This is normal operation. It cycles periodically with a solenoid valve switching back and forth between two vessels that is actually a molecular sieve that separates the oxygen from other gases. So let's look at this display here. We can turn the voice on or off. This timer, this is a countdown timer that can be assigned if you wish to have this in a timed operation. Each time you press it, it increments in 30-minute increments. And it's back to 0. The flow can be increased. When you increase the flow, it starts at 1 liter per minute, which is the most concentrated at 93%. The increasing the flow will give a higher flow rate at the sacrifice of a lower concentration. You double that to 2 liters per minute, the concentration goes down to 76, 65, 56, 49, 43, 36, 26, and then we're back to 93%. This appears to be a table that is programmed into the unit. This does not have an oxygen sensor on the output. These are parameters that have been entered experimentally to come with these numbers. This over here, notice we have ionic. That means the ionizer is turned on. It's toggled here. It's turned off. It's turned on. And speaker is off. Settings toggle silently. And these are all the functions that you can access. Nothing up here is touch sensitive. And that's how this machine operates to the end user. Oxygen outlet port, properly humidified. This is an atomizer port. Also in the documentation it's mentioned a little bit, but for most people do not need to operate with this without the advice of their physician. And so there you have it. This is the oxygen generator YSK-FW1. We shall now turn it off.